Despite being refreshed in just 2022, Lexus has decided to give the LX 700 a complete overhaul. Being the last vehicle left in Lexus's lineup that does not have a hybrid option, because they're all about saving the environment now, not the V8s, the LX 700H is here. And we have the Overtrail edition today, which is supposed to be the most capable of the 700 lineup. So we're gonna see just how capable it is and if it's worth that hefty price tag. Starting off in the front, you can see the LX 700 is massive. It's got an absolutely ginormous front grille with a huge hand-sized Lexus emblem right in the center as well. But you do get tri-beam LED headlights for your headlamps, a cool daytime running light in like a check mark shape, and you've also got some Lexus that's hidden in there as well. Overall, I think the front end of the LX 700H looks spectacular, especially with the hood. You've got a very shapely hood with the center kind of dipped down so that you get a little bit more visibility out of it. Overall, I think that they absolutely nailed the front end of the LX 700H. A lot of the impressing parts of the exterior of the LX 700 do kind of stop there though. As we go around to the side, we do have 18-inch wheels with 33-inch all-terrain tires on them. However, they're not very spectacular wheels, especially when you're paying 6 digits for this SUV, but they are the nice gunmetal gray. I just would have liked to see a lot more of a beefy wheel on the 700H. Coming around the side though, we do get a plethora of cameras on the LX 700. So you've got full 360 cameras, starting with your side view mirror here. You've got lane departure warning, and it's just glossy black with a little bit of shiny silver in there. But overall, doesn't look too bad. It's got the safety features you need and the cameras, so that's a win. Also on the 700, you do also get a step, so that's nice, but they are not rock sliders. These are plastic, and they will 100% snap if you try to use them like sliders, so don't do that. Coming around to the side further though, we've got not paint to match door handles. These are actually piano black, and then we've got our green exterior. We do have some from factory roof rack rails though, so that's nice. At least you do get that. Coming a little further back on the driver's side, we do have our gas cap. And because this is a Lexus, you can say without a doubt, this does use premium fuel, and it only gets about 15 miles per gallon, but we'll talk about that more later. So this is gonna hurt at the pump for sure. I do like how the taillights kind of wrap around to the side. It looks pretty good overall. You've got some sensors down below. You know, the side, it doesn't look too bad. I do wish that the wheels were just a little bit better though. But the rear doesn't look too bad either. You've got a long running light all the way throughout the center with some more tail light stylization going on. Large Lexus badge, of course. And then on the right-hand side, you've got the LX 700H. No branding of Overland or Overtrail or anything like that on here. You just know by the features it has, I suppose. But you do get a rear window wiper located at the bottom. Not sure why it's not at the top. You've got that spoiler there, so you could use that. But that does about wrap up the exterior of the car. Now the Overtrail edition does only come with 5 seats, so you do have a massive amount of storage space in the rear. I drive a GX 470, so I have the seats that stow away to the side. I feel like they could have done that in here, but instead you just get a ton of storage space. I guess you can get your camping setup and everything like that using all this space, so that's not too bad. You do get a 3-pronged outlet in the back here with a 2500 watt inverter, so that's absolutely huge. So that's a pretty good addition there. No storage space under here because you've got that hybrid battery, and then you've got, of course, you can cover up the stuff in the trunk, or you don't. Get a first aid kit in the back there in case you get a boo-boo on the trail. Otherwise, you got some fuse panels over here, and that's about it. Now, all of the 700s do come with a hitch from the factory as well, so it's got that down there too. What I'm curious about though is, will the 700 eat your child's finger? So we got a banana to see if it will. Not too bad. It would hurt a little bit, but at least it didn't break it open. Now let's get to the front and see all the features this LX 700 has for the Overtrail edition. It's also extremely black. There's not a whole lot of color going on in here. It's just all black. You get a lot of soft black though. Everything is basically soft to the touch, so it does feel extremely premium, but it just kind of feels dead in there and really dark for sure. But the door panel is pretty nice. You've got 3 memory functions for your seat, a nice little chrome door handle there, kind of like gunmetal, not chrome. One touch operation for your windows, your child safety. You can fold in your side view mirrors and control them as well. And again, it's all really soft, nice materials, doesn't feel cheap or anything like that, so that is at least there. But you do get a nice Lexus door sill. Again, no branding of it being Overtrail, just Lexus. And you also get tons of customization with your front seat as well. So you've got 14-way controls and also the knee pad that can extend out too, so that's pretty nice. The seats themselves are not too stylish, but they do have heated and ventilated seats, so that's nice at least, but they're just normal black seats. They are pretty comfortable though. But all right, hopping in though is where the real things actually start to show up, because we've got a ton of different capabilities in the front of this 700 Overtrail. But on the steering wheel itself, it's very Lexus typical, nothing really to talk about. On the left, you've got your multimedia controls. On the right, you got your driver's assistance. So that's about it. And then you've got a couple paddle shifters, so that's nice. And you got that eye that Lexus is always watching you. And what sucks is I drive like this, so I'm always covering it and it's always throwing a fit. It's incredibly annoying and I do not like it. But you've got very typical stalks behind there. Nothing too crazy going on, but you do get fully power oscillation for your steering wheel, so that's pretty nice. Now beyond our steering wheel, we do have a 12.2-inch digital gauge cluster with tons of different information on there. So we'll get to that in a minute, because to the left of your digital gauge cluster, you do have the button to view your different cameras and such that are on the LX 700. And then you've also got your trip odometer reset, your brightness, and that's about it. But below there, we've got the button for our back hatch, also the button for that 120 volt inverter, some trailer brakes, which is nice. Here we can release the gas cap, and then our hood release. All right, now to the right of the steering wheel, we start to get to the things that actually make it that Overtrail edition. So we've got our front and rear diff locks, so that's pretty neat. You've got those on here. Now all of the LX 700 lineup does have the center diff though, but only the Overtrail gets the front and rear. Coming along to the right of the steering wheel, we do have a 12.3 infotainment center. Now this is where you can view your cameras and also other things. So you've got settings in here where you can actually have a massage seat, and the front 2 passengers are able to do that, not the rear unfortunately. Then you've got different drive assist controls, trip information, tire pressure, vehicle alert, and then you've also got your wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay in here as well. And it's just Toyota's very typical infotainment software, nothing to write home about. The coolest thing in it is the massage seat, and it's actually one of the better ones I've tried as far as vehicles go. But below there, we do have another 7-inch screen, and on here you can get feedback such as like how hard you're braking, how hard you're accelerating, your gyro, your pitch and yaw. You can control the height of the vehicle and also AC, and that's about all that's in there. But you do also get some physical controls for your AC, so that's nice at least. And then they like to name things really strange, because why wouldn't it be called Climate Concierge? Nobody does that. It's Sync. But here we are in the Lexus LX 700H. It's Climate Concierge. And then below there, we do have our drive mode control, and within there, we've got Custom, Sport S, Sport, Eco, Normal, and Comfort. So you've got a ton of drive modes there, but then if we go into our MTS, which is your multi-terrain system mode, you've also got deep snow, mud, sand, dirt, and auto. Now, when you switch through these, depending on which one you pick, it will raise or lower the vehicle and also turn off traction control or whatever Lexus deems you should do in that scenario. But you can also kind of customize it to whatever you feel as well. However, if you do have it in the highest position, you cannot drive over 40 miles per hour and it will lower back down. And also if you've got it in the lowest position, you can't drive over like 15 miles per hour without it raising back up to normal. So it does have limitations of what you can do there. Maybe somebody will hack it and allow you to have it in the highest position all the time, but in this one you can't. Then you do have your downhill acceleration control or your crawl mode. So it's nice, that's built in. And then you've got a nice little storage spot slanted so you don't have things coming out. You've got a cigarette lighter jack style power adapter, 2 Type-C USB ports. One is for data and power, but it's specifically for data, so you won't get any data out of the left. And then, like I mentioned, both of the front seats here do have heated and ventilated seats, so that's where we'll find those buttons. Also, the parking assist button is located up here, as well as the heated steering wheel. So you've got tons of bells and whistles right here, but it does get a little bit better. Behind your gear selector, you've got a wireless charging pad, 2 decent-sized cup holders, your electronic parking brake, your brake hold, your center diff, traction control, and ride height. But what I really like is what's under here. Only in the Overtrail edition will you get the cool box. So that's nice for trips, nice if you're on the trail or going out to the beach or something like that. You can put stuff in there, keep it cold. They tell you not to use any raw meat or raw fish in there, so hopefully you weren't planning on that. But we're not done yet. Moving up above the infotainment center, we do have our auto dimming rear view mirror that's also a digital rear view mirror with the 3 home link buttons and the different settings for your digital rear view mirror. You've got a spot to store your shades, which a lot of models have started to omit, so I still like to see that there. We do have a couple dome lights, which are also touch sensitive. Also the controls for our sunroof. I don't know why it's not a panoramic roof, and something this expensive should definitely have a panoramic roof in my opinion. But just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then a new to me button anyways is this one here, which looks like it has a Wi-Fi symbol coming into the car, and that is your theft sensor. So don't touch my stuff. And then you've got the buttons for your dome light controls and an SOS button, and that wraps up the front of the LX 700h Overtrail edition. So how about we hop in the rear and see just how nice and luxurious it is in the back. Coming into the rear, it is again just full of black, but you actually have a lot that you can do back here. You've got a little bit of a different style door panel as well, because you've got the speaker grill here, and then the wood and the piano black. It's a little bit different than the front, but all LX 700h's for 2025 do also have the window shade, so that's nice, and it's a pretty heavy duty one. Doesn't seem like this one will break so easy. You got a couple cup holders in the door, and that's about it. You do get a nice silver door sill emblem here. It looks nice, but hopping in, you get a nice grab bar as well. Makes it a little bit easier. It's pretty comfortable. It's not as big as you would expect for something as large as the LX 700. I'm pretty sure in my GX I have more space in the second row than I do in this. But you do get a couple pouches back here on both of the seats. And then also you get your own heating and air back here. Like I mentioned, the second row also has heated and ventilated seats, so that's nice. And you also get 2 Type-C USB ports in there as well. So overall, it's not too bad back here, but if you've got somebody that's over 6 feet tall, they're not going to be comfortable in this second row at all, because I've got about 3 inches of knee room and like probably 3 inches of headroom, but I'm 5'10". So you add a few on there and somebody's going to be uncomfortable. Outside of that, we do get a nice little spot here with the cool cup holders, extremely comfy, nothing sharp in there or jagged that's hurting, so that's nice. Overall, it's a comfortable space, but it's not large at all. And what makes it even more comfortable is we can actually get comfortable for the long trip. However, again, this is not the most I've ever been able to recline in the second row. I think that, especially without having a third row back here, they should have allowed you to go much further back. But what do I know? Let's get this thing on the road and see how well it handles for the LX 700h Overtrail. All right, now we're behind the wheel of the 2025 Lexus LX 700h Overtrail. And it's actually a pretty comfortable ride. The seats are nice and comfortable. Also, I've got the massager going on, so that's helping me relax a good bit. You got pretty good visibility in here. Unfortunately, with Steve having to be so far back because he's 9'12", I can barely see out of the rear passenger window, but other than that, I've got pretty good visibility. You've got the really large rear window, so that's not an issue at all. And then also, you've got a pretty raked windshield, but it doesn't impede anything. And then also, you've got that big divot in the hood, so that helps you see even more. Aside from that, the throttle is extremely responsive, but that's largely due to the hybrid system that they've got put in here. Also the different drive modes and such. So the steering right now is extremely loosey-goosey, but when you do change your drive mode into like the sport or even some of those multi-terrain system ones, it will stiffen it up a good bit. So I like that. Personally, I'm not a fan of like the zero weight steering, but it is a good, comfortable steering wheel as well. Now, there are some cool features though that it does have that none of the other trims do, such as you've got the underneath camera. So there's a skid plate down there, and then also there's a camera down there. But how the camera actually works is it's not taking a live shot of the ground, it's kind of building what the ground would be with the forward-facing camera. So it's not a true underview camera, it's just creating it digitally. But it does work well, so that's nice. Also, when you come up to a stop, your front camera turns on and your side cameras, so I guess that's nice as well. One thing that's weird though, if you look on the camera, it looks like we're really far away from the truck in front of us, when in reality we're like 8 feet or so away. But it looks like it would be like 10, 20 feet away. But it is a camera. Objects are closer than they may appear. Now, it's not the fastest ride in the world, and personally, it's not necessarily my cup of tea either. There's some good reasons for it, but largely because an Overtrail edition doesn't belong on something this large. You're not taking this on the trail. You might take this on like the beach or something like that, but it's so wide and long that you're gonna have a really hard time getting around.
Yeah, that's why you don't see a lot of truck to go off-roading.
But I do like it. I like the interior. It's just a little dead in here. It's all black. I wish that there was more color, more personality. Like, they could have done what Toyota does, and even, you know, it's Overtrail edition, make it black and orange or something, yeah. Right? Like, put some.
So agree. And do you still remember the TRD Pro?
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Right.
But you have no badge, right, except the Lexus badge.
The only way to know that it's an Overtrail edition is that you get 3 diffs, which I think is pretty weird. There's no badging or anything like that, which they're usually pretty big on. Like on the F Sport, you've got badging everywhere. So the only way we know is because this key tells us it is. But that about wraps up my opinion of the drive, the comfortability, and the features that are within it. Now, the LX in 2025 is completely changed because it has this hybrid system now, and I think that this hybrid system actually functions better than a lot of other Toyota and Lexus hybrids. So we're going to have Uncle Steve get in the driver's seat so he can tell us about the ride and about the powertrain.
All right, it's Uncle Steve behind the wheel of this LX 700H. Well, the powertrain is a little bit different than 600. The 600 is non-hybrid. This is a hybrid V6 3.4 liter twin turbo with an electric motor. It has 457 horsepower and 583 foot-pound of torque. Believe it or not, it is 20 more horsepower than a 2025 Tundra hybrid.
Yeah, so that's not much, even with the electric motor.
It's the same motor.
Yeah.
But they have 20 more horsepower. You pay extra like 20 grand, you want something more. You want more horsepower. Otherwise, people would be like bitching about it, like, you know, I pay extra, you know, same horsepower as a Tundra.
Right.
So yes, I feel like that's a good approach, you know, from Lexus. And then you have the 10-speed automatic transmission, same thing as the LX 600, and full-time all-wheel drive. But this one has front and rear lockers, which in other trim level they don't even have front and rear locker.
Right.
They have the center diff locker for across all trim. So nowadays, not a lot of cars that have front and rear locker, so it's a good thing for off-roading. Will you take this to off-road? Like you say, it's too big, right? And also too pricey, right?
Right, I would take it to the beach or something like that. I would take it like camping where I have to drive down like a gravel road or something. Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm not taking it through trails for a week or something.
Yeah, so the front and rear locker is kind of like useless, right?
Right.
Well, 0 to 60 is 5.5 seconds. This is half a second faster than LX 600 from last year. You know, that makes sense, got more horsepower as a hybrid, you know. And then for the mile per gallon, it's about the same. This one is 19 and 22, 19 city and then 22 on the highway. For LX 600, it's 17 and 22. So it's not a big difference, you know. And you know, even they say it's 19, you know you don't get enough. We're
getting like 15.
Yeah, I even say it right there on the gauge.
Yeah, but it's still better than my GX 470.
But yeah, don't even talk about my one is 11 mile per gallon.
I get like 12 or 13.
But I don't have to use premium.
Yeah, I use premium.
And you guys have to.
Yeah.
GX and this one. So is it really saving on gas? Well, I don't know.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Tell us about this trim. This is the entry level for the LX 700, right?
Yeah, surprisingly, it actually is. If I were to get one though, I would probably go up to the luxury trim. So you start out with the 700 Overtrail, which comes in at $115,350. So quite a good bit over that six-figure mark. And then you've got the F Sport trim, which is $117,850. And then you've also got the luxury at $119,850. And then you've got the ultra luxury, which is actually a pretty interesting build. It's strange, but it's interesting. And that one comes in at $141,350. So that's a huge jump.
But this is the only trim level that come with front and rear locker.
Yes.
It's kind of sad.
You're not going to buy the ultra luxury and take that off-roading. The ultra luxury only has enough room for 4 passengers. So again, there's no third row. The second row is just 2 captain chairs with a fixed table between them, and you can like pivot the front passenger seat so that the rear passenger can like fully lay down. So also,
so you gain some, you lost some, huh?
Right, yeah. You gain some, you lose a lot.
Well, the one most important thing that I want to know is the towing capacity.
That's the most important thing?
For me, yeah. I've been learning from you, you know.
Oh, so you're trying
to start towing some stuff.
Okay, you're gonna get a boat?
No. I'm towing those Chinese to-go box.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a lot of orders. But you can tow a whole lot of orders in this bad boy. You would probably be able to tow enough orders for the weekend because you can tow 8,000 pounds with this. So it's made to tow.
It sounds like, well, for the Cybertruck, 10,000 pounds, right? So it's kind of close to it.
Yeah, it's kind of close to it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you can tow a pretty good sized boat or RV with this, for sure.
So let's go back to the driving experience. The acceleration is good, you know, it's very smooth. The engine is incredibly smooth. It's fast acceleration, especially for the size of the vehicle. The brake is a little bit not so good, like you said. It feels like hard.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like stop right away, right?
Right.
Besides that, the handling feel like a boat. It's not bad, it's very comfortable, very smooth, very comfortable. You don't feel a lot of wall bump, you know.
Right.
Besides that, everything is just, I feel like outdated in terms of design because it feels like just like my FJ80.
But with a lot more bells and whistles, it's not outdated in that way.
Not that way, but it's according to today's technology and feature, like on the other vehicle that we have test driven, you know. This is kind of lack of feature, right?
A little, some. I mean, it's got a lot too, though.
Yeah, like the lockers.
Right, and the massage seats. You've got rear heated and ventilated seats. I mean, it's got a lot of bells and whistles.
So you like it overall?
I don't dislike it. I mean, for a full-size SUV, if I want to be able to go to the beach or something like that, I think it's great. But if you're wanting to go off-roading or something, I don't think it's a good candidate at all. So it's a use case type thing, right? Like if you want a large SUV that's a little bit more capable than other ones, it could work out.
Yeah.
So if that's you, if you're in the market for a new SUV and that's what you're looking for, something that's very luxurious, but also somewhat more capable than other things, you could go check out the 2025 Lexus LX 700h Overtrail trim and let us know in the comments what you think. It is a comfortable ride. I just don't think it's as capable as it could be for Overtrail, right?
Yep. And also, in my opinion, I feel like this is better than the LX 600.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. The LX 600 had a lot of plastic and stuff like that too. But what you should do is let us know in the comments down below what you think of this 700h Overtrail. And would you ever get in one? Would you ever buy one? Or is it just not capable enough for you? Let us know in the comments down below. Smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.